With a long weekend in Western Australia, the quarter-finals of the State League Cup were played, and the match of the round saw last year's champions Perth travel to last year's premiers Balcatta. Balcatta was soon stretching the Perth defence. Callum Roberts outmuscled James Isaiah, then cut inside Trent Kay and was only denied the opener by Devon Spence. Former Perth Glory player Todd Howarth then provided a great opportunity for Perth, but his telling cross whistled in front of Andreas Oliveira and David Onoforo. Soon after, Jason Barrera played a good 1-2 with Burton and tried his luck from long range, but his efforts sailed wide. Balcatta were attacking at will and were patient in their build-up, but were restricted to efforts from long range, such as Johnny Migus's, which Devon Spence had covered. In the final minute of the first half, Balcatta broke down the left. Barrera fed Migus, who slipped the ball to Thackeray, who in turn found Burton. His cross was dealt with poorly by Howarth, and Attack gave Misevsky a great opportunity to score. Dunn blocked again, and Roberts headed over with the goal at his mercy. Balcatta started the second half as they had ended the first, on the attack. Roberts found Mo Attack in space, and only good defending by Kilkelly snuffed out the danger. Against the run of play, Perth took the lead. A quality pass out of defence from Howarth found Robert Shasha, who with space cut infield. He held the ball up before playing it into the path of Oliveira, who pulled away from Tong and simply clipped it past Karoma. A beautifully crafted goal from Perth. Shasha shows great awareness of Oliveira's run and then weights the ball perfectly. Tong was caught ball watching and Karoma could do little as the ball was clipped past him. Buoyed by the goal, Perth started to play with confidence. Sharland turned Madashi with ease, then looked up and picked out Shasha, but Karoma had his effort covered. In the 70th minute, Balcatta almost equalised. Attack's cross from the right was met by Roberts at the back post, but an alert Dunn deflected it around the post. Up the other end, a Perth attack looked to have broken down, but then Oliveira robbed Thackeray far too easily and was allowed to make space and shoot, but luckily Karoma was there for Balcatta. In the 89th minute, Balcatta went route one and felt they should have had a penalty when Kilkelly's clumsy challenge brought down substitute David Misevsky just as he was about to shoot. Time was running out for Balcatta when substitute Human robbed Naglieri. He passed to Thackeray, who set up Burton for a shot. His effort thundered off the underside of the crossbar, and while Burton celebrated, Perth played on. Their clearance fell to the feet of David Misevsky, whose shot clipped Kay and ended up in the back of the net. Perth, to their credit, did not stop when the ball hit the crossbar and came down. Balcatta, with the exception of Daniel Misevsky, did. It was the poor clearance that gave his brother David the chance to shoot, and luckily for him, the deflection off Kay left Dunn absolutely powerless to stop it finding the back of the net. The first half of extra time, and Sharland had the perfect chance to put Perth back in front, but usually so lethal in similar positions, on this occasion he lifted his shot over the crossbar. Soon after, Balcatta looked to have made a hash of a corner, but Migus managed to keep the ball alive, and at the second attempt, Thackeray was only denied by a sharp save from Dunn. In the 100th minute, Attack played the ball in from the right to Human, who was clipped from behind by De Felice. The referee played on, but then following appeals he checked with his assistant and Balcatta had a free kick. Up stepped David Misevsky, who tried to curl it into the top corner. Dunn failed to hold, and as he tried to recover, Burton nipped in to poke the ball home. Spence appears to take his eye off the ball at the crucial moment and then fails to gather as it hits the ground. Burton is on hand to poke the ball home. A dreadful error by the Perth stopper, which was likely to prove expensive. Perth had a free kick of their own in the second half of extra time, but Naglieri's low shot was pushed wide by Karoma. That was the last chance Perth had to pull level, and so Balcatta progressed to the semi-finals, which will be an all-Premier League affair.
Well, Mark, you left it late, but a well-deserved victory today.
Yeah, I thought the boys worked extremely hard. You know, we had a tough game on Saturday, and to back it up against Perth on the Monday, 2 days later, it was a tough ask, and boys really delivered a solid game today.
Tough all over the park. Probably the midfield was the battle today, and I thought in the end you probably come out on top.
Yeah, I think there's some good battles going on in there. You know, I thought we were pretty physical. We matched everything. We tried to close down them as much as you can close down Perth. They're a very good side. You know, they're hard to stop, and we knew we sort of had to stop the wide players getting released, and you know, they were trying to free them up. And there was a big battle going on in there, you know, all day. And I think we came out on tops in the end. You know, and I think we had probably the better share of possession, and definitely, obviously, a couple of goals and a couple of chances that made the difference.
Some of the guys put the bodies on the line. Jason Barrera there with a cut head. Now he got the important header away as well.
Yeah, he did. Look, those you know, 3 or 4 corners there, right on the death knock. You know, any one of those, you know, could have been turned in. Perth are very strong on their set pieces, and you know, our boys put in a challenge for I think every ball and every second ball that dropped in there, and you know, even the little fellas like Jason Barrera and putting their heads in dangerous places. So a lot of courage, I think, from our boys. We knew how tough this was going to be, and we don't want to go away just yet. So we were really happy with it.
Tight at the back as well, like Adam Tong, obviously, and Julian Madashi. Solid at the back, and obviously solid over the pitch, and a well-deserved win, I think.
Yeah, look, at the back, we've conceded probably a few too many goals in the league this season. That's been a disappointing part of things for us, but you know, we're working hard on that and tightening things up, and the hardest team to do that against is Perth. So you know, just the one today, you know, that wasn't too bad against them, but you know, the boys are really focused on trying to keep those clean sheets, and maybe that'll be the difference if we you know, can keep a few more games like that together. Then we'll be a bit further up the ladder by second half of the season.
Congratulations, good luck for the rest of the season, and good luck in the semi-final.
Thanks very much, Pete. Cheers.